It is Tuesday, which means it's time for a stash cast. But no. It's an RO. I'm so sorry. I've been doing a bunch of stash casts, like pre-recording, so that's what's going on right now. I'm confused. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's Tuesday. Art Hall. There you go. Got it. Before we get to that, though, I'm Aradia Noir, your resident witch and creatrix over to Radia's Hind and Danae's Divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life through art, intuition, and energy work. And on Tuesdays, I like to do hauls. Now, sometimes it's an art haul. It may be a magic or intuitive haul, biz hauls, and every now and then we get a happy mail. Those are probably the rarest of all of them. But the whole purpose of these posts is to share something that I've gotten for one of my businesses or my work in general, to kind of give you some inspiration and some insight and a little behind the scenes action as to what goes into the work that I do. Now, usually this queue is very, very long. Not necessarily because I buy things all the time, although sometimes it does seem like that, but because I try to divide them up by basically trip. Now, if I go to multiple stores in one day, I usually separate those out into multiple posts. And because of that, it can take quite a while for me to get through things. On top of that, this is also one of the posts that I have that's almost always going to be a video post, which means taking pictures and having time, and just in general, it taking a lot more effort. I'm realizing let me sound this off. Realizing it's going to take longer, and this queue tends to get backed up a little more quickly than others. Now that said, I absolutely can pre-record these because these are not time sensitive. It's just whenever I get around to them. So, all right. First of all, let's move stuff over. I can see stuff. Because what I do want to do is make sure. Okay. So, today's share is an art haul, and this is something I've had for a while. Now, because I've had it so long, the place that I got it from technically has gone out of business. And unfortunately, when it comes to suppliers, especially small suppliers, that happens. You know, things get discontinued, businesses close, and this is all before like the pandemic happened. And I want to say this probably happened right around the start of the pandemic, so I don't know if it was related, and it might have been close to, I don't actually know. I didn't follow this business very closely, and I didn't have a lot from them. But this is one of the few things that I did get my hands on from them. So, without further ado, we've got Sashiko thread. Now, this is all traditional colors. So we've got I've got the thing right here. I've got the thing right here. It tells me the colors. So we've got white, aqua, cyan. I don't know how to say that word. Let's see. Which one is this one? Cobalt. I know that's a color. It's just such a weird color. Royal blue, navy, and then black. Now, because this is used on denim, most of the colors are blue or blue based. Of course, you also obviously will see white, and that's usually, I think, traditionally speaking, it's probably because white doesn't require any dyeing, although it could require bleaching depending on what the fiber source is. Now, this is cotton, so it probably doesn't require much refining at all to be white. Just basically being cleaned and probably set out in the sun to dry is probably enough to get it exactly where it needs to be if it is not perfectly white. Black, I'm not sure about. Black is a pretty common color though, but most of, as you saw, most of them are blue. And that's because blue was used with indigo. And a lot of it, while a lot of it is denim, just those were the colors that were readily available. Hence why they're traditional. Now, I was really excited to find all of these. I've seen whites before and I've used it. And I have another something or other somewhere around here where I have like just one of those packages specifically of that. But I was really excited because I did want to get all of the colors, because when I can get all of something, one, I want to get all of it. Two, if I can get the traditional materials, I'm all about that. Because while I do have a very eclectic, non-traditional approach, my approach is also based on kind of a bit of like a trying to think. I think of a diplomatic way to say this. I've got a, you know, what's on hand kind of mindset. I try to focus on sustainability. So it's very rare that I buy new anything to work on anything unless it's for like something that requires something new. When it comes to my mending, I'm using scraps, I'm using salvaged things. You know, I'm hitting up Goodwill or thrift stores. I'm repurposing other things that maybe aren't fit for other uses anymore. And so I'm trying to work on sustainability, which is much more along the lines of the traditional mindset of Sashiko. It's using what you have, what's on hand, and using things that are going to be probably lower cost because you just don't have access to other things. So I try to take, I guess, the spirit of Sashiko into what I'm doing, even if the outward presentation is more varied and colorful. The reality is we live in a different time and period, and so the availability of certain materials is vastly different for us, and depending on, you know, your economic status and exactly where you are, than somebody from another time period, another country, and just literally another era. So there's that. But I'm really excited. I have not, I got them from Fringe Supply Company, so by the way. But like I said, they don't exist anymore. If you go to their website, you'll get a note that's saying we closed our retail and wholesale locations. They do have a few things that they offered that they, I guess, basically licensed over or have other people selling for them now, like a few patterns. But as I looked through what they did make note of, there was nowhere specifically that had these. Now, that being said, these are not from Fringe. Fringe distributed these, so you can absolutely find them. Unfortunately, the instructions, as near as I can tell, are in Japanese, but Olympus is what you're looking for. So yeah, what I will do is I'll actually do this right now. I will see if I can find this for you so I can link to it, because when I can, I try really hard to link to wherever I got it, just to yeah, send business, you know, to places, because a lot of times I do try to go to either places that are accessible or small businesses. Let's see, Olympus. I don't know why I didn't remember that. I know Olympus makes, right, and I think it's a little ironic that a company named after something Greek makes Japanese thread. But I think I found it actually, because it says olympus.co.jp, which is Japan. So this might be what I'm looking at. I think it's really interesting the names that people choose to go with. Okay, unfortunately, it's solid Japanese. Okay, let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. Haha! Alright, products and support. That's what we want. Oh my. This is totally what I'm looking for. Okay, let's try this. Olympus Thread Company. Okay. It might not be a company, it might be a brand. Alright. Oh. Okay, there you go. Olympus-thread.com. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I feel silly. I didn't, you know, because it said Japan and this is Japanese, right? That's where I was going with this. And I'm not saying that they're not related, but that's definitely not what I was looking for. All right. Okay, so yes, Yes, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link to that because you can find, ooh, they have tatting lace yarn. I've never been to this website, and I'm seeing right now that this is maybe a mistake. Did that just say dairy free? It does say dairy free. Okay. Oh, they have some oh, oh my gosh, they have some other colors. That's really exciting. So, while Sashiko thread is traditionally like white or, you know, a blue color, apparently it comes in all kinds of other colors. Like there's a whole rainbow of colors, which is really exciting. And they have minis and thick and thread and thin, and of course then all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna see if this, I think we're about to fall down a rabbit hole. Let's see. Okay. 17, is that what it was? Yes. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. I am going to link to the specific place on this website where it shows all of the colors. I do not know where you can buy these though. That would be the thing. Because what I do want is I do want to link to where you can buy something, but we're having a little trouble with that. So what I will do is we'll go and link to this now. I'll link to what I just went to. Now I want to explore this whole thing. I don't know where to buy this. How many yards? Is this 29? Of course, I don't know. This is 20 meters. How many yards that is? No, it is 20 meters. It's 29 colors. I can't read. That's cool. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to link to this. Now, you're going to have to find your own supplier. I'm sorry. Let's see, Olympus. Oh my gosh, can we spell? Alright, and what I'm doing is, this is just the general. So, if you want to get it, your best bet is to search Olympus Sashiko, Sashiko. Sometimes you'll see it spelled with a C instead of a K. Thread, and that's what you need to look for. I'm gonna send you to the direct website for the manufacturer. Usually I do try to send people to where they can buy it, but a lot of times manufacturer websites, if they don't sell it, they have somewhere on their website that'll direct you where to find it. I know you can probably try Amazon, and there's probably a lot of textile or needlework suppliers are going to have it, but there's so many, and I don't know what's available to you, and I don't know what's in your price point. So I don't want to send you to going somewhere that you can't access or have moral issues going to. So there's that. Okay, we've linked that. Now I'm gonna have to go and look at this tatting thread because I'm excited, and anytime I can see tatting thread, I'm like, ooh, hi. Funny thing about that, by the way, any thread can be tatting thread, really. If you can get it around a shuttle or get it through a needle, you can tat with it. Same thing with bobbin lace. Like if you can get the pattern big enough in bobbin lace, you can use whatever the hell you want. And I guess theoretically, if you wanted to make a really dense weave, you could still absolutely use like a relatively small grid for bobbin lace. It would just have to be small enough for, or big enough for the knots to be, well, not really knots, but the twisties to be made. Oh my god. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I haven't done anything with it because I was waiting to share it with you, which is pretty much the going statement for these things, is I try to share this stuff. The idea is to share it as soon as I buy it. Obviously with my queue being backed up so much, that's not really working out. But that's the goal. Even though we fail at it, and we're gonna actually rubber band these together. So that's it. Now I'm gonna add this to my mending stash, which is funny because that means when I do my mending, series, there we go. I'm going to, when I do my mending series, we're gonna touch on these again. Speaking of, before I forget, let's do this right now. So I know, let's see, we've got, hold on, bobbin lace. I made notes and didn't update them, so we're just going to do that right now because this is what we do. Bobbin lace punch needle. I think it was mending and then sewing. Okay, so this is gonna be, it's gonna be a little crossover with embroidery and Sashiko in the mending, because Sashiko is a specific type of mending and embroidery is actually not mending at all, but it is a textile art. And a lot of people will mend with embroidery stitches. If you watched our Twitch broadcast last night, you saw me doing that. I was using a back stitch to outline a squiggle and then filling it in with seed stitch. Which they have the same effect, right? They reinforce and layer and affix things, so it works. So let's see. I know. Oh, we're gonna. I'm making notes. We have to make notes. Because if I don't make notes, I'm going to forget. Is that everything? I think that's everything immediately that we needed to do. So, yeah, I'm going to add it to my mending stash. I don't really know when I'm going to get around to using. And the reason I'm going to add it to my mending stash is right now, the going out pants are very colorful. I have been using, I don't have, of course, I don't have the thing anywhere near me to show you, but I've been using some of my embroidery thread stash to get through it, so they're very colorful, and this is not going to fit with the aesthetic that I've got going on, so I don't want to use this. I have, in fact, on the very first mend, actually way back in the day, and if you scroll through, I'll put it up there. If you scroll through to the beginning of the hashtag, which I'm going to link below, you will see some blue fabric on the jeans. It's a cotton, by the way, with some thin white thread, which is what, not this one, but it's this kind of, this kind of thread. I stopped using it quickly because it's on the thinner side. Now there is thicker Sashiko thread, so I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen an example. I don't know how much thicker, and I don't know the ply on the thinner one, but I know embroidery thread is 6 strands, And then each of those strands technically, I think, is 2 really, really tiny ones. I don't know if that means it's like 12 ply. Is that what that means? I don't actually know. But irrelevant. I'm just going to put this in my stash. And probably the next garment, like the next new garment that I mend, is likely going to use those. It's not going to fit the aesthetic to put these together, and it's going to look, it's going to look out of place. So I don't really want to mix those together, because it's going to be like visually disruptive, like not in a good way. Discordian that I am, not going to love that. So, is that everything? I think that is everything. Now, if you want to see pictures of these, the individual colors and all that jazz, you can scroll to the post below. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can hit that link and it'll send you over to Patreon. Like I said, I've got a link to the manufacturer's website. Best of luck finding it, but just look up Olympus Sashiko thread. That's gonna be your best bet. And I think these were like it's like $160 is what I paid for it. Is that right? Yeah, $160. So just a couple of dollars. That's like per hank, skein, I don't know what they're calling it. So it's not going to break the bank. It's 20 meters, which means nothing to me, because, you know, imperial. But so I think 3 meters is about 6 feet or so. I think, is that right? So maybe about 40 feet. And I don't even know why that matters, because we usually use yards when we're talking about length of thread. If it's 40 feet, now I have to know, because I don't actually know. Okay, we're just gonna ask. Boom. Okay. So apparently a meter and a yard are really close. So it's gonna be about 21 yards, almost 22. So about 21 yards. Actually, it's technically a little more. So now I know a meter and a yard are really close. 1 meter is 1.09 and some change yards, in case you wanted to know. Now I do. So, yeah. Now, also linked below, my websites, Wiedersehen, Today's Divine Souls, my active social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I like to hang out the most, and now YouTube, as well as Twitch. And Twitch is going to be the place that you're going to see me work with stuff like this and other things related. So, if you're interested in seeing this stuff in action, that's the place to be. Now, because you stayed to the end of this, why is this so long video? Let's get this long. Because I got distracted. That's how it always happens, right? Right. I just realized I'm a person. That is so weird. Yeah, I feel like this disembodied voice sometimes. It's very strange. Because you stayed to the end. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday, which means it's time for Work in Progress Wednesday, which means the intentions that we set forth on Monday, we're going to touch on them tomorrow and see where we're at with stuff. That's pretty much it. So I just want to say a big thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having interest in the work that I'm doing. As always, I love having you here, and it means a lot to me that you give me any of your time, because you could be doing anything else with it. And so it means a lot to me as a creator. That said, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, consider coming over to Patreon so you can join the railings. I do all kinds of things over there that I don't offer anywhere else. So if you want to get in on that, which may include some one-on-one time and, you know, opportunities to pick my brain or like work with me more directly, worth a shot. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think that is it. I'm having a math nerd moment. have this like weird unnecessary question that I need like a math human for, and I don't have one. Just because I'm a nerd, and sometimes I like math, like permutations. I like those. It's really weird. And statistics. All the things for me to like. Complicated shit. Don't ask, since you don't want to know. It's better that you don't. It's better than nobody knows. So that all said, that's it. So long, farewell, Wiedersehen, and goodbye. And I will talk at you tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have like gotten some stuff done and be like, yeah. But we'll see. Toodles!